Going into the 2021 season, Spencer Rattler is viewed as one of the best returning quarterbacks and could be the first overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. Rattler and crew will also be fighting for a national championship this year. But who is Spencer Rattler? In the Who Is series, we go through the backstories of up-and-coming collegiate and pro athletes. If there's a player you want to see in future episodes, make sure to leave it in the comment section below. I did a video on Spencer Rattler a little under a year ago, and since then I have upgraded my audio equipment and have gotten better at doing these videos, so I thought it'd be nice to revisit his story. Spencer Rattler grew up in the Phoenix, Arizona area and began playing football at the age of 7. By the age of 11, Rattler was already garnering college attention. He caught the eye of Dana Zupke, Pinnacle High School's head football coach, when he was visiting the Boys and Girls Basketball Club. Rattler later attended Pinnacle High School, which is located in North Phoenix, Arizona. Everyone knew who Rattler was, and many had high expectations for him entering high school. Rattler was not supposed to be the starter his freshman year, but when the expected starting quarterback quit the team over the summer, Rattler, at 14 years old, was thrust into the starting job. Rattler's first game of his career came against Chandler High School. This would be part of the video where I say he exploded onto the scene as a freshman in his first game. That is not what happened. Rattler instead threw 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, and only 133 passing yards en route to a 56-10 loss. Rattler did not let that game define his season, and he shook off the nerves going into the next 3 games of the season. In those 3 games, Rattler threw for 798 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Rattler finished his freshman season with 2,300 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions, while Pinnacle finished the season 4-5. Rattler's first level of national exposure came during the first week of his sophomore season. In the game against Scotia, which was televised on ESPN, Rattler led his team to a 49-41 win, throwing for over 300 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Aside from an impressive stats, the most amazing part of that performance was the fact Rattler did it with a broken hand. Rattler was playing the game no matter what, and had Pinnacle lost, it wasn't going to be used as an excuse because he didn't believe in excuses. In Rattler's first 3 seasons at Pinnacle, the team improved each season. During his junior year, Pinnacle finished 9-4, and Rattler threw for 45 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and nearly 4,000 passing yards. In 3 years, Rattler had thrown for 9,000 passing yards, 93 touchdowns, and 30 interceptions. He impressed everyone with his pinpoint accuracy and said he used to be compared to Baker Mayfield, but a lot more athletic. Before his senior year, Rattler attended the Elite 11 quarterback camp and was named Elite 11 MVP for his performance. Going to his senior year, Rattler started in Season 3 of QB1 Beyond the Lights. He also had 2 goals for the season: win a state championship and Gatorade Player of the Year. In 7 games, Spencer Rattler threw for 1,863 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, while also rushing for 139 yards and 3 more touchdowns on the ground, but did not play in Pinnacle's last 5 games of the season due to being suspended. As a result, Pinnacle lost to Perry in the semifinals of the state playoffs. Rattler finished his high school career with the Arizona record for passing yards with 11,083 passing yards and 116 passing touchdowns. He also rushed for over 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns in his college career. Rattler was an All-American Bowl selection, and between October 12th, his last high school game, and the All-American game, Rattler packed on 20 pounds with his workout program. During the All-American game, Rattler scored 2 touchdowns and impressed in the second half. Coming out of high school, according to 24/7 Sports Composite, Spencer Rattler was a 5-star recruit who was the best pro-style quarterback, best player in Arizona, and 11th best player nationally. He received over 14 different Division I offers from the likes of Alabama, Miami, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Texas. Rattler worked with quarterback guru Mike Giovando back in high school. Giovando had a relationship with Oklahoma assistant coach Tim Kish that went way back and decided to call him to talk about a special player he was working with. Mike called him saying, "I've got this freshman. You really got to come out and take a look at this guy." Kish laughed and couldn't believe what his friend was saying, but trusted his judgment. Kish, who had 4 decades working in college football, went to go visit Pinnacle High School, telling The Athletic, "I'm not lying to you. He could make every throw as a freshman that you think a senior should make. He's that good. He could throw the deep out, the curl, go routes, slants, you name it, he could throw it." Kish brought the intel he collected back to offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley, who reacted the same way he did to Giovando. Then Riley watched Rattler's film and was instantly impressed. Riley would call and extend Rattler an offer when he was 14 years old, before he ever broke any records or starred in any Netflix shows. Rattler would also collect scholarship offers from Arizona and UCLA throughout his freshman year. Giovando told The Athletic, "I don't really promote 9th graders all that much because I know coaches are going to say, no, not yet. But I had enough faith in this kid, so I decided it was the right time to reach out to a few people." Kish developed a strong relationship with Rattler and still stays in touch with him even though he retired in 2018. Rattler would commit to Oklahoma in 2017 right after Riley was named the head coach after Bob Stoops retired, and never wavered on his commitment. He became Oklahoma's first 5-star quarterback commit out of high school since Rhett Ballmer in 2004. Rattler was hoping to become the first true freshman starter at Oklahoma since 1990, but surprisingly did not decide to enroll early. This was partly due to his high school's high academic standards, which made it an improbability of happening, and Rattler also wanted to enjoy his senior year. When Rattler got to Oklahoma in the spring, he had to compete for the starting job against former Alabama quarterback Jalen Hurts, who had recently transferred to Oklahoma. Hurts won the starting quarterback job and led Oklahoma to the college football playoffs, where they would lose to LSU in the semifinal game. Rattler played in 3 games during the 2019 season. Against South Dakota, Rattler went 4 for 4, throwing for 50 passing yards and his first career touchdown. Against Texas Tech, he went 2 for 4, throwing for 4 yards and rushing for 23 yards. In the semifinal game against LSU, Rattler completed 1 of 3 passes for 8 yards while also rushing for 8 yards. Rattler finished his freshman season completing 7 of his 11 passes for 81 yards and 1 touchdown. Rattler would beat out Tanner Mordecai for the starting quarterback job going into 2020, becoming the first Oklahoma commit out of high school to start for the Sooners since 2014. The last quarterback to do that for Oklahoma was Trevor Knight. Expectations were high for Rattler, and he would experience some growing pains. Although he threw for 387 yards and 4 touchdowns against Kansas State, he also threw 3 interceptions, and the Sooners would be upset by them. Against Texas, Rattler was benched for a period of time before returning and leading the Sooners to an overtime win. After being benched, Rattler would get hot, throwing for over 200 yards in 6 games and scoring multiple touchdowns through the air and on the ground combined the rest of the season. He also cleaned up his turnover issues. After throwing 5 interceptions in Oklahoma's first 4 games, Rattler only threw 2 interceptions the rest of the season. Oklahoma finished the season on an 8-game win streak, beating a depleted Florida team in the bowl game. Rattler finished the season throwing for 3,031 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, while also adding 160 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. He was named a Davey O'Brien Award semifinalist, while also being named National Freshman of the Year by CBS Sports. He became the second Oklahoma quarterback to earn FWAA Freshman All-American status, with the other player being Sam Bradford, and was a first-team AP All-Big 12 selection, an organization co-Big 12 Newcomer Player of the Year, along with an academic All-Big 12 first-team honoree. Going into the 2021 season, Spencer Rattler is viewed as the favorite to win the Heisman, while some believe this year's Oklahoma team should win the national championship. Rattler is also viewed as the top quarterback prospect for the 2022 NFL Draft, with many believe he will go in the top half of the draft, and some even think he could be the first overall pick. But what do you think? Will Spencer Rattler win the Heisman this year? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other videos in the Who Is series. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.